So Friday, May 2nd, was Holocaust Remembrance Day in the United States. And this is the 60th anniversary of the State of Israel, which is one of the consequences of the Holocaust that we best remember. But there were many other consequences and many other legacies of the Holocaust, some of which are only coming to light in recent years. And one of those is the experiences of the children and the grandchildren of Holocaust survivors. And with me today is Rosemarie Pena, who is the child of a Holocaust survivor, but she had a very unique experience. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience, Rosemarie?
I didn't know until I was 38 years old that I was actually a child of a Holocaust survivor when I discovered that I was adopted and sought out to find who my mother was, and found that she had been a Danish woman who lived in Germany and who had been placed in a camp called Pearson during the war when she was about 6 years old. And when I found my mother, I spent 2 weeks with her, and during that time she told me her story, which is a very sad and lengthy story about her experience in the camp, and then at the end of the war after she was released. Well, she told me that after she released from the camp, she was placed in an orphanage, and as a teen woman, she escaped from that orphanage and was raped by an employer. She claimed to have been cleaning or working as a domestic for a black Persian soldier in the English sector, and she was raped by him, and then she made her way to the American sector where she found a man married, but she was not aware that at that time she was expecting a child. And the two of them didn't know until actually I was born that I was not the child of her then husband.
And I assume they knew because of your color.
I was left on the doorstep of an African-American family with hope that they would adopt me. However, that was not something that they wanted to consider, so I was placed in an orphanage. And I was brought home by one family who decided they'd prefer to have a boy, and ultimately I was adopted by the Heyman family, a military family stationed in Bernheim, and brought to the United States as their child.
And you had a good life with them?
Oh, I had a wonderful life. There was always something missing. I was a very, very sensitive child, but I was a very, very loved and carefully nurtured only child. In fact, I was never even told that I was adopted. I found out quite by mistake, I guess you'd say, on my own and through whispers of other family members.
And when you found out that you were adopted and began to investigate your background, then you discovered something rather mysterious about yourself, about being stateless?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I discovered that I was brought here as a person without a country, and that in actuality my name that I had referred to all my life was not indeed me. I discovered that I was Rosemarie Pena. I was born in Germany. However, I was not a German citizen like other black German children who had been adopted during that period, but was recorded as having no country of origin.
And what was the consequence of that?
Well, as a result, it's been a challenge for me to get a passport. It's been a challenge for me to really determine my true citizenship I was naturalized as an American citizen. However, I was naturalized under a name that I was not quite sure was my name. So, as a consequence, my journey and something very important for me to determine why I was not considered a German citizen. And at this point, I'm looking into seeking dual citizenship.